talk manifestation, lucid dreaming, realignment, and all the beautiful stuff about the soul, your consciousness, and beyond. Deborah, let them know one more time where they can find you and what you're bringing in today.
All right, so bringing in a bunch of knowledge and wisdom is my goal and healing. So you can find me on www.paranormalparadigma.com. My Instagram, my TikTok, and my YouTube are all Paranormal Paradigma.
That's right. Stay tuned, guys. Stay to the end of the show. It's going to be amazing.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep end of the pool, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. 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 Set up the mood.
I can't start this episode with the classic, guys, because I think this episode might drop after the 400th episode. So
Ooh.
after 400th episode, I can't be doing the other stuff. So the big changes of the show are coming, and they're here now. A couple of friends of me told me I can't share your show with other people because they won't take you serious because you start the show with testicles, one, two, testicles. So now I have to completely change the intro of the show. After 400 hours of entertainment of doing that, I have to change it because we have to evolve. And if we're not adapting, we're freaking dying. And that's just what it is. So we're going to deposit into the bank of knowledge. Welcome back to Paranormal Radio Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Trebles Garcia. And I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today. And I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget that the most important thing that you could do for the show today is word of mouth. Do not forget to check us out at paranormalradio.com. Like, subscribe, share, and like and subscribe. Now we're on YouTube, guys. The following is growing. Mad shout outs to Jessica Jones from Cryptid Huntress and everybody else that collaborated on that chat, on that live. You guys are amazing. I was very, very warmed welcomed, and that was amazing. I wasn't expecting that. So I'm not trying to pat myself in the back, but into my own horn. I do want you guys to go check that episode and make sure you like and subscribe her on her channel also. And I got to do some quick little promos here. Cryptid Warfare Operations gives you the tactical gear, guidelines, and also strategic strategies to make sure that if you are paranormally activated, they will help you with those critters outside that are abducting your cows. Okay, guys? So make sure you check out Cryptid Warfare Operations, and they're on the description of the link. And also live parasitic free and make your kids healthy again with Ali Christine. Ali Christine is a good friend of mine. She's a beautiful soul, and she is giving you the guidelines on how to keep your children healthy and live parasitic free. We like to say out here in Paranoid Radio that parasites are demons. So you never know, man. A little Jesus, a little medicine, keep you free from good stuff. That's amazing stuff, man. Also, guys, Nelson from Flavors of the Forest gifted me an amazing pack of stuff. I'm gonna tell you something about this garlic dust is amazing. You put it after on your food, you put it on your steak. It's beautifully tangent and very impactful with flavor. It's jam packed with organic stuff. It's beautiful stuff. I love it. I put that shit on everything. I shouldn't be cursing anymore, but hey, now do not forget to drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Let's jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the freaking mood. Please give a warm welcome to my next special guest. She's been here before, a very, very long time ago. I think she was here on season 3, season 2, but she did an amazing show and she's doing her rounds. She's very interactive. She has an amazing following. Please give a warm welcome to Deborah Roque from Paranormal
Oh,
Paradigma.
oh, wow. Thank you. My God, that was amazing. I think that's one of the coolest introductions I've had on a podcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hey, I try. You know what they say? It's like everybody else is doing the podcast thing. What makes you different? And I'm like, well, I'm brown. I talk really, really fast, and I'm bilingual. So I'm using all of those things to my convenience.
So
How
you're,
are you? Thank you for being on the
I'm,
show.
I'm good, making it, doing the things, living life, hustling, and making the dream work, I guess. So that's what I'm doing.
Let's revitalize that energy and let's bring some more
Mhm.
positivity to your life. I want you to
Yeah.
be healthy. I want you to be wealthy, and whatever it is that you're doing and whatever it is that you put your hands on,
Oh,
any type of project, I want it to manifest into greatness. So let's just put that out there first, okay?
amen.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Where can
Yes.
people find you?
They can find me on Instagram, mostly TikTok, but definitely my website. So I'm on www.paranormalparadigma.com, where you can book readings and healing sessions for a pay what you can price.
That is beautiful.
Hmm.
One of these days, it's gonna get to a point where you're not pay what you can, and hopefully, this is also putting good vibes out there. You're gonna be able to charge what you need to charge for this great stuff because I mean, people are doing it out there, but you're very selfless for saying that, and also very focused, and I see that. So today, we're talking about manifestation and how to realign. I think this is
Yes.
gonna help you too. I
Oh,
think
I mean,
so.
I'm constantly working on it. I'm trying to use my own tips and tricks and what I know from spirit. So, like, here I am doing the things and trying to embody it and be the example. So, I'm definitely here for it.
Talk to me. What is realignment? Let's start with that.
Well, a lot of people, well, what's disalignment, right? So, what makes you feel disaligned? And for the most part, people don't really, I don't even know if people understand that they are disaligned or what that kind of feels like. So, I guess you tell me, do you feel disaligned or do you feel aligned in your life right now?
I feel like it's getting into the point where I'm getting aligned. Um, it started about 6 months ago, and it felt almost. I had a. It could have been worse, but I had a very tragic accident. This is where it pushed me and catapulted me to just stop drinking and also consuming drugs because I was constantly diving into meth, which is not good. Um,
Right.
then, so the past six, actually, now we're going on to the seventh month. The last 7 months, I've been trying to rectify that and stayed sober for a very long time, and I feel cognitively better. My memory is back, and I feel like, for example, with the show, things are lining up a lot better. At home, it can be better, but I also understand that sometimes damages have been done, and you can't go back, no matter. I mean, as far as what I'm living, as far as how
Mm.
I think sometimes the damages are unrepairable. So I, even though in different aspects of my life, and we're getting intimate here, I am a little unhappy. I'm not miserable like I used to be because I used to be miserable when I used to drink, miserable when I was high, and still have those problems at home, and then still not have any traction with the show. So it's not that I'm miserable anymore. I'm growing into what I'm supposed to be. I'm shaping myself, I believe.
Sorry if I feel like I'm also like getting a lot of things from you. I'm just like getting emotions, man. I'm just like, wow. So if
Mm,
you see my facial expressions, it's because I'm trying to like push them away so that it doesn't affect me because
okay.
it's really strong. Um, you're near death, like a near death situation or something like that.
No, no. I almost crashed, almost had a fatal accident. Almost, I won't say fatal,
I just
but
said it is near death.
but I
But I
didn't hit anybody,
just
thank God.
said
I lost my vehicle. I was drunk, but the cops didn't take me to jail. It's just one of those days where you're like, dude, if I don't wake up
yeah.
now,
And that's what I'm saying. Like if like that's what I got through. So it was just well, anyway, I don't want to get too like into it, but like I definitely when you were talking about it, I was like, oh, this man almost lost his life. So it's just really interesting that now we're talking about that, especially after these very traumatic like events in your life. Um, and we're talking about realignment and how you're saying like, oh, before I was miserable, now I do feel like I'm in a happier space. But do you know that like, are you distinguishing between like, what's the difference between them?
oh,
Like, what is the difference? Like, how do you know you're aligning?
how I feel, I like it. This is a therapy session. I feel like I've learned to love myself, respect myself, and put my happiness first before I
Right.
try to make even my kids happy. Because if I'm
Right.
unmalnourished, if I am uh treating myself like crap, it's gonna reflect on my kids, which is the most important thing for me. And then realigning with God as well. I've been trying to really hard try to get more into a spiritual realm and at least have an intimate relationship with God. I don't want to say oh Bible thumping warrior, right? But I want to have some intimate relationship with God, and then the wife obviously, and then the show, which I think these
Right.
are all areas where I've had some growth.
Okay, perfect. So then, would you say that then you feel more aligned because you're becoming more honest and authentic with yourself?
Hmm.
Mm.
Hmm. Without
And
the
what,
mixture of drugs and alcohol as well. That's been a battle.
well, I mean, drugs and alcohol, are they really helping you be yourself or are they helping you escape yourself?
I was trying to escape myself, yeah, when I used to do it, yeah.
Right. And so that's not alignment. Anytime that you try to hide from the things that you're experiencing or not feel the things that you're supposed to be feeling, or you feel miserable, like you said, doing the things that you're doing on your daily life because you feel obligated that you have to do it and it doesn't feel right,
Mm-hmm.
but you need to do it because you have to pay the bills and this is what society told you, and then you won't be accepted in your life, or the family is going to ostracize you or outcast you. This is all things that make you feel unaligned or disaligned, right? You're not really walking in your truth. You're not really being authentic to yourself because honestly, you don't even know how to be authentic with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You've been taught that life has to be a certain way. You have to have kids at a certain age. You have to have a certain job at a certain age. You have to make a certain income at a certain age. You have to have a certain type of knowledge. You have to have like abide by a certain system. This is all like things that are obviously what people call like part of the matrix. It's all conditioning to a certain extent. And our job is to filter out what's actually true for us. And then once we start to do that, once we start to filter out like, okay, well, this is what I was taught, but is it really true for me? Like who I am? Then that's when you start to enter into alignment. Disalignment is everything else that doesn't fall into who you are or what you are or who you want to be. Because true alignment is authenticity. But the thing about it is that true alignment only comes when you align whatever's in your subconscious beliefs with your conscious beliefs. And a lot of people right now, me included, are like having issues with certain types of with like you said, we were talking earlier, like manifestation or alignment, because our conscious says one thing, but our subconscious knows another. And unless you do this thing with both of them, where you align these both things, you're not ever going to really truly be aligned. You'll get closer to alignment, right? But true alignment comes when you make, as Jung said, Carl Jung, he said, when you make the subconscious conscious, you understand? And you practice this awareness and you understand what's really driving your behaviors or your actions or your thoughts and what is you and what is not. Then that's when true alignment can take place. And then all these things start to fall into place or fall out of place because they truly don't resonate with you or align with you any longer. So alignment is going to do both things. It's going to cause things to manifest and things to go forward, but then it's going to also cause things to fall away because it needs to all
Mm-hmm.
make space for the growth and for the changes that are coming. So true alignment, authenticity, being who you are 100% in your conscious mind and in your subconscious mind and aligning those both.
Damn. Told you we're gonna make the process into the bank of knowledge. Good stuff. Yeah, I've seen it, and I don't want to get too personal here in the show because a lot of people know what kind of like what's going on, but you're right. So when there's growth in different areas, some of the things get shedded away,
Right.
and yeah, man, I see it. I see it with intermediate loved ones. So we'll see what happens
Yeah.
with that.
And
But
it's very hard. But
mhm.
I think what happens is that we're really living in a fear-based society where everybody's like, oh, you can't do such and such thing, or you shouldn't do this, or that's not the way it is, because there's a fear of how things are going to go, or what's going to happen, and the stability or the instability that's going to cause, or the judgments or the criticism and all these things. And that's all fear. You understand? And if you keep listening to that, that's what's going to continue to dictate your life. But once you start to truly align and you say, well, how can I fear when it comes to like losing things, I guess is what I'm trying to say. When it comes to losing things, if you're afraid of losing, then you're also afraid of gaining because they're on the same spectrum. You
Damn,
can't.
I hate when you have those bombs. Damn, you're right.
So can't do one without the other. It's just absolutely impossible. When things lie on the same spectrum energetically or spiritually, that's why everything's a paradox, right? So if you like the opposite of gaining is losing, if you want to gain, obviously then you have to go to the opposite end and lose. And that's kind of the game that you play. The same thing with like, love and or and not love. I would say I wouldn't say hate because hate is a very powerful thing. That's like
Mm,
truly the extreme of love. But like let's say like not loving and loving, like, in order for you to experience true love, like you also have to know what it feels like not to be loved and what that looks like. It's just it has to be on the same spectrum for you to finally come into it and then balance it out for yourself.
Learning how not to be loved. I told you this was gonna resonate with me. I freaking told you, man.
Being okay
Yeah.
with not being loved. Being okay with not being loved so that you can truly feel love. It's a fear that all of us have. Nobody wants to feel not loved or not respected or not seen or not heard, not understood. But you have
Not
to.
not
And
belonging.
oh,
Yeah.
not belong. But if you don't experience that, then how do you know that how do you appreciate it when it comes, or how do you recognize it when it finally comes to you? You got to know what it's like to like not feel that. So that when it comes to you, you're like, "Oh shit. Like this is what it's like."
To be able to, I don't want to say forecast, and I don't want to say, I mean, I don't want to say manifest. I want to say forecast.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. You'll be able to educate me on that. Excuse me. Um, do you have to be fully aligned to be able to understand and then practice manifestation?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because this is a learning ground. Like this is where we kind of take the time to learn the lessons and do the thing. So for people to be truly aligned and manifest, no. The only thing is that when you're not fully aligned, things, when you do manifest things, maybe they don't come fully the way that you want it, or they only come in like parts, or they only come in like halves. You understand? Like what happens when you're not truly aligned, you're going to still manifest because you are aligning. It's not like you're not aligning. It's just that, you're getting closer and closer and closer. Once you're in that full alignment, it's almost like things feel effortless. Things come to you effortlessly. Just making things happen. Everything's just kind of falling into place, you without like even trying, because you're already on that vibe, you're already aligned, you're doing what you know you have to do, you're putting in the work, because that's another thing. People think that you can manifest just with thoughts. No, you have to work. Like there is no manifestation without work. It just doesn't.
Thank you. Mhm.
There's none of that. So that like if anybody's selling you like just raise your vibe and you're gonna manifest, run because you have to effing put in the work. That is part of the aligning process, is the work that you put in it, the diligence, the consistency, the discipline. And so, but once you're aligned, these things become more effortless. You know where to go, you know who to speak to, you know what to do, you trust yourself. And then things just sort of say, hey, and they start to show up and the path starts to sort of unfold on its own. And that's true
Mhm.
manifestation.
Whoa. It's funny because I'm always bashing on all of my boys. We have a big giant podcast chat room where everybody's just talking crap about each other in a positive manner. We're always, uplifting each other. And I'm like the only one that tell them, hey guys, are you guys working today? Hey, I'm recording today. Are you guys recording? Hey, like, like I'm always bombing them with like, come on, get to work, because one thing is to say, oh, I'm a podcaster. And the one thing is to say, I podcast. Like, okay, you could
Mm.
podcast, but
Yeah,
are you embodying, like, are you having the full embodiment of a podcaster? Success will
right,
come when it comes, but like one thing is to like smash on it, like every single time, like, and it has to come with raw passion, intent. As I believe this is what I practice: raw passion, intent, and then not really care about the money. The money's gonna fall when it needs to fall at its pace, right? After you find the
right,
alignment. Hmm.
right. After you find the alignment and you let go of the expectation.
The expectation.
Like the other thing too is that people are like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I envision, and then they attach themselves to the vision. And then they're like, but I need it to be this way. And then you're like, but that's not how the universe or God works. The God says, I'm going to give this to you, but you're not going to know how it's going to come to you. You're not going to know how I'm going to present it or when it's going to come. I'm going to lay this out for you. But if you get too attached to the thing that you want, you're actually, in some crazy way, actually pushing it away from you because it's more of a resistant energy than anything else. So part of the manifestation process is trusting that things will come to you in the way that they're supposed to and not the way that you necessarily want them to. because you trust the universe. There is a balance within like putting in the work and then letting go of the expectation and letting things in life sort of conspire for you. And this is why everybody talks about balance or like alchemy and things like that, or temperance, because it's sort of like it's a game. You understand like what works for you? How much work can you really put in and be efficient without burning yourself out? Are you really doing like good to yourself and good for your show if you're always burned out? No, you're not. So like how do you balance that? And then in those moments of like quiet time or reflection, what are the ideas that are coming to you? How can you expand yourself? What truths are you learning about yourself? How can you apply that? You understand? And then letting go and seeing where it takes you and how this just kind of flows. And then things will sort of start to fall into place. But a lot of people, when they manifest or they want to try to manifest, they get attached to the idea that they have in their head. They create these vision boards, which is fine. Nobody's saying don't do it. Just don't attach yourself to it. Do it, wish it, let go of the expectation, and let life do whatever it needs to do as long as you continue to work toward it. That's the key.
People, and I think the logical part about attaching it with your emotion and attaching yourself into the vision would be, I want it this way, but then you take away from like the journey, the growth
Right.
process. For example, myself, the way I envision myself is probably being the most impactful Latino podcaster in the country and being able to talk to people that I've never imagined of speaking with, from artists to the smallest, to authors and everything. But I also understand that in order to get to that point, there's going to be a journey of networking, a journey of conversations, a journey of time deposited into the bank of knowledge, like I said right now, right? And then having the growth process. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be posts that don't even get looked at. There's going to be posts that blow the hell up. And then all of those emotions are working. All of those events are working towards what the end goal is. You can't just say, I want to be the most impactful bilingual conversation. Like, you can't just say that and not expect to have the flaws and the downs and the when you fall off and people talk crap and the haters and the trolls. Like, all of that, you have to be mentally prepared for that too, because that's part of that journey. You can't just push it away. So I would say, like, amplifying your message will be putting your efforts and all your energy and emotion and intent only on that visualization. You probably won't, you're probably going to miss out on the most valuable parts, which is going to be the growth. Because once you get to that visualization, I keep saying it wrong, you have to maintain it. How are you going to maintain it if you haven't lost? Just like you said, how are you going to know when you are loved if you haven't accepted not being loved?
Yeah, and how do you know, would you find yourself if you don't know how to like be okay with being lost? Like I told that actually to somebody today in one of my healing sessions. We were talking about her growth transition, her transitioning from like corporate to like something more creative in her life. And she was like, "Oh, I feel lost." And her guide was literally like, "Well, then how do you find yourself? How can you find something that's not lost? You can't. It's absolutely impossible." And people have this fear of being lost and I don't know and where am I going and what's my purpose and what's the next step and they don't realizing that you're on a process of discovery. And in order to discover yourself, you can't know everything. And we all just want to know everything all the time because that's what we're taught success is, or that's how we know where we're going. And, and that just creates anxiety. That's not a way to live life. You think our ancestors like knew every day how the day was gonna look and like all this? No, you understand? Like we're supposed to. There is an aspect of mystery or the unknown that's absolutely necessary for our growth. Because otherwise, if we knew everything, then where would the evolution be? Where would the us finding ourselves or coming home to ourselves, remembering ourselves? You can't remember something you haven't forgotten. You can't find something you haven't lost. Do you understand? So it's just like people are
Switching up the tempo a little bit. And thank you for sharing all that information. What about what if you're a lucid dreamer? So asking for a
Mm,
friend, if you're a livid
okay.
lucid dreamer, can
Mm.
you tap into some into a type of, I want to say, call it algorithm in your subconscious where you're able to manifest something forth, not just live it in your dream, but also put it into the physical, bring it into the physical? Can I weaponize it basically? That's what I'm asking.
I'm trying to understand the question. So, in your lucid dreaming, can you make your dream a reality? What are you asking?
So I'm gonna give you to an example. There
Okay.
is sometimes I haven't done this particular one in a while. I'll probably try it today. I have to have in the right. I think it's the right space in my heart. Like I have to be in the right space. But I'm an active lucid dreamer. Like it's not that I don't feel gifted, and I'm not invoking anything. I'm not trying to say that I'm gifted at all. I'm just saying this is something I do, and this is something personal to me that I do, and I don't like sharing it until like moments like this where I'm gonna learn. So I do it, and I could control my dream, and then wake up, drink some water, come back, and then start the dream right where I left off. The next morning I'll be
Perfect.
exhausted and stuff, but
Mhm.
I've done it a couple of times to where as I'm living the life of what I want to be in the real material world. You get what I'm saying? Kind of like I'm living my dream
So,
in my
yeah, you're
dream.
in the timeline.
Is that what it
You're
is?
in
Is
the
that what it's called?
I mean, it's one of the ways that people refer to it as. Like, I think maybe that'll be one of the easier ways to understand what you're doing. You've basically entered the timeline that you're trying to create. Like, you're living in that
Mm,
future,
mhm.
you're living in that time in your lucid dream, which is interesting because then that's telling me that you're able to, your soul or your body, your consciousness is able to sort of like peek into the timeline. Do you understand? Like there is a
Mhm.
part of you that sort of travels and says, "Hey, I see you. This is where we're going. Okay, just checking in and you kind of come back."
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's almost like a tasting of the reality that you're trying to create for yourself. And it might not look exactly the way that you dream it, but it is that sort of like you entering into this other level of space and time.
My
It is
my coworker at work, shout outs to Juan. He comes in, he tells me, why are you cursing yourself like that? And I told him because in that lucid dream, when I do have that thought pattern and I could lucid dream my future dream of myself living in the material world, if it makes any sense, um, I I told him, you know how my marriage ends? He goes, how? By a girl in a red dress. He goes, what? Dude, don't tell me that. I'm like, yeah, the girl in my red dress. And she's the one that makes my entire business start to collapse. And he goes, avoid the girl with the red dress. So now we joke around the girl with we joke around and we call everything the girl with the red dress. We call like if there's something bad happening at work and I get distracted, I go, oh, the girl with the red dress, bro. And we know it's like an inside joke. But like
yeah.
he know I told him like I exposed that to him and I'm like, bro, I always dream about this, bro. It's like I controlled it and I'm at the peak of my success. And then the girl with the red dress shows up, bro. Like she just freaking knocks me off my boots. And he's like, bro, you're cursing yourself, dog. Don't say that. So stuff like that, do you know? It's like I'm peeking into the future. And I'm not saying I want to meet this girl in the red dress, but hey, you never know. I'm just saying, you know.
I mean, the interesting thing about some of these dreams sometimes is that it could definitely be a girl in a red dress. You may very well be seeing this woman in a red dress and a woman that will present herself in a red dress and knock your boots off, like you said. Or it can be
Mhm.
a symbol of something else. Like, what does red mean? What is that significance to you? When does red come? What is that tied to? What is, something to explore basically for you to see what resonates. Is it really a girl in the red dress, or is the girl in the red dress a symbol for something else that's coming in your life? I
Damn, I
don't
never
know.
thought about it like that. Never thought
Hmm.
about it like that. You see, this is what, man. It's very important to have these conversations with people, especially the people that are guides the way you are. It's good stuff.
Yeah, so that's just something to consider. It can be both. And that's the thing about these psychic sort of phenomena. They're not always black and white. It's not always how they come out. Like we often, the language of the subconscious or in and of I mean, of consciousness, like, and the consciousness has
Hmm.
so many languages, especially in the subconscious. Like symbols is definitely one of the languages. You understand? And emotion. So it's trying to decipher what these emotions and these symbols are trying to tell us. So, like for instance, when you have these lucid dreams and you see this girl in a red dress, are you like happy? Are you upset? Are you excited? Are you like turned on? Like, I don't know, whatever. That's going to tell you something more about what this means and where this is going for you. Absolutely.
Hmm. On the DMs, I'm gonna hit you up on a personal level and tell you what should I ask the girl with the red dress.
Uh, Go right in there. We're already connected. You might as well just ask
Might
me
as well. What
anything.
do you think I should tell her?
Yeah.
Like, hey, girl, like, what's up? Like, because I
You
it's
can
kind of
definitely
weird
try to
because
talk to her. Yeah. That
what
what?
happened?
I said you can definitely try to talk to her if she allows you, but it'll be interesting. What were you gonna say?
No, because every single time, like I've gone to that point of that dream, it skips the entire conversation with her. It just goes like it goes from the moment I meet her, I see her in that freaking private event, and then it goes to where like I'm breaking up with the wife, and then it goes to like I'm remarrying, and then it goes to like it jumps steps. It doesn't tell me what happens here. But I know it happens within like 10 years. It's like an expansion. Like it's not very like fast. It's just boom, 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 boom. I'm like, damn, dude. But like, yeah, so that's why kind of like my homie at work is like, dude, like you're freaking cursing yourself, bro. And then we just now I'm like, I told I'm manifesting it, bro. Leave me alone. Jokingly, obviously.
I mean, who knows? Life does these really weird, crazy things. And I mean, it's always these, like, again, psychic phenomena, these, dreams and things like that. They're only going to give you a hint. They're only going to give you a little piece of the puzzle. The whole point is like what you said, the journey, the process, how you get there, how it evolves, when it shows up.
Mm.
That's part of the mystery and the allure and the fun of this life and just kind of putting the dots together and seeing how it manifests and what that means when it does. And you can trust that it'll show up when it's meant to, when you're ready to.
In the meantime, we keep rocking the mic and having amazing episodes like this one. This is actually, guys, going to be a therapeutic session for myself and not for you guys. This is for me. Deborah, before we end the show, I want to, because we only do 30 to 40 minutes here, you know that, but I want to know, now let me ask you a question. This is very interesting.
Yes.
In the next 2 years,
Mm.
what's your mission?
Oh, to grow. My mission is to just continue to learn and expand and grow my abilities and help as many people as I can sort of get comfortable with the spirit realm and this like the paranormal and spiritual realms, along with healing themselves and healing their subconscious so that they can align and manifest the life and like live their purpose. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that everybody externalizes their purpose. That is the absolute like biggest trick in the book. Like your
Mm,
purpose is not outside of you. There's not you don't seek out your purpose. You become your purpose. You are your purpose. So
damn.
you enter into your purpose when you find yourself and when you heal yourself. And this is how the alignment and the manifestation and the life that you want to create, the reality you want to create happens because you've healed. You're not no longer living the constructs that you were told to live and abide by. You're living your personal authentic truth, and that's true alignment. And so that's what I do. That's what I do in my healing sessions. And I do that through spirit, and I want to be able to in the next 2 years like just focus on healing individuals and aligning them to themselves, their purpose, and grow basically, and do my medium readings and expand my gifts and help people across the world, essentially.
And you will get there.
I,
One
I do trust
person
that.
at a time. You're going
Yes.
to get there. I
Hmm.
remembered when I started the show about 5 years ago, and I had you on. Like, I had you on like 2, 3 years ago, and
Hmm.
I was doing the show lost. I was doing the show without a purpose. I was doing the show just because it made me feel good, and was bored, and I didn't want to, I wanted to get away from people and stuff, and 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 there was no real air under my sails, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times we get to that point and we're like, fuck, like I don't even know what to do. Like you don't feel what's it called, the motivation to do things. You like become
Mhm.
a lazy soul, I want to say. Um, but that's what I'm trying to avoid. And I see you now, and you're in the growth process. So am I. And I'm gonna have to see you in the next couple of years.
Ah,
Hopefully you come back on the show sooner than that. But this is
absolutely.
gonna be I'm gonna see you at the top, basically what I'm trying to say to cut it short, because we all gotta expand in our stuff. I feel there's never been a moment in life to be more awakened,
Mm.
more in tuned than now. The thirst for people is real. The thirst for
Yeah.
reality is real. The thirst for getting away from these technology things, away from your screen, away from the media, away. It's never been. There's never been a better opportunity to become a medium, to become a podcaster, to become all these other great stuff. This is the moment of creativity has never been this big. The access points, the tools have never been on this amount of abundance. You know, the amount of souls that need help, the amount of tools you have. It's the perfect moment to attack and to do it. So I encourage everybody out there, if you are creative and you're trying to put something out, this is the moment to do it, guys, you know? And again, Deborah, I want to thank you so much for gifting me your time, gifting me your wisdom, and aligning me to a point, to a certain degree, helping me push myself more to the deep end of the pool, to jump into the deep end of the pool. Let them know where they can find you one more time.
All right. So anybody looking for me, you can see me on Instagram, Paranormal Paradigma, TikTok, Paranormal Paradigma, YouTube will grow. So catch me on that, Paranormal Paradigma, and then my website, www.paranormalparadigma.com.
That's right. Make sure you check her out. On the description of the show, you'll find all the links to all of her socials. And guys, check her out. Ask her questions. You never know where it might take you. I also encourage everybody to drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Peace. Thank you so much. That was Paranoid Radio.